Hello everyone, Mathematic Wizard here, and today I will be showing you how to multiply and divide mixed numbers. So, with that being said, let's get started. Okay, first example, 2 and 1/8 divided by 3 1/2, which is 17/28. And let me show you how. Okay, so the rule to dividing mixed numbers or fractions is to keep the first term. Well, before I go into that keep, change, flip thing, let me just state that whenever you are converting a mixed number to its improper form, multiply the denominator by its whole number, adding the numerator. So with that being stated, 2 and 1/8 becomes 17/8. Now the change part comes from division to multiplication. And flip or multiplicative inverse, reciprocal, same thing. 3 1/2 is 7/2, but the multiplicative inverse of 7/2 is 2/7. And then after that, you can just multiply straight across. So 17 times 2 is 34, divided by 8 times 7 is 56. And of course, you know the greatest common factor is 2. So its simplified fraction is 17/28. Now, you could choose to do it like this and just memorize it by that, just doing that. But for some people, they want to do it in improper form. For me, I like to do it in a mixed number form because I know how to do it by head, by heart, I mean. But you don't have to do that. You can do it in its improper form if doing it by mixed number is going to confuse you. Okay, let's try another example. 2 3/4 multiplied by 4 1/2, which should give you 12 3/8. And of course, I'll show you how. So, in this case, we don't need to do keep, change, split because we're multiplying mixed numbers. The only time we do that method is applies to dividing. When you're dividing, you have to use that method, but in this case we don't since it's already multiplying straight across. Okay, so once again, for those people that like to do it in improper form, all you gotta do is just convert them all to its improper form. So 11/4 multiplied by 9/2. And so you'll get 99/8. And of course you have to go further. You can just go ahead and do this with the house. 8 goes into 99 12 times. 96, remainder 3, and it goes in this order. 12 and 3/8. 12 and 3/8. Simple, huh? Alright, let's try one more example. Alright, so 1 1/2 divided by 2 1/3, which is 9/14. And the work below, once again, the only time we're going to use that Kentucky Chicken Fried method is if we're dividing mixed numbers and or fractions. Okay, so 3/2 multiply, because remember you have to go from division to multiplication when we're dividing fractions. And then we have to find the multiplicative inverse of 2 1/3. So if we know its improper form is 7/3, but multiplicative inverse of that is 3/7. So 3/7. And your answer is 9/14. And yes, opposed to what I said earlier, Kentucky Chicken Fried, I'm going to show you what that stands for. So yes, KCF, I mean the real acronym is really Kentucky Chicken Fried from KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, but back when I was in school, I use a method like this called the Kentucky Chicken Fried Method. What it really means is the K. You keep the first term, which means farthest to the left, and anytime you see a division symbol, you change it from a division symbol to a multiplication symbol, and flip, and in brackets and parentheses, you have the term what I always say, multiplicative inverse, and then in the parentheses right here, its synonym is reciprocal. So basically, reciprocal and multiplicative inverse is the exact same thing. So no matter what you use, you're still doing the same thing. What that means is, for example, let's say you are dividing something by a half. So basically you're multiplying it by its multiplicative inverse, which is 2. Because 1/2, you're flipping it to make it 2 over 1, with that 1 not being necessary, so you just leave it at 2. Okay guys, well that's all for today, and if you have any questions, you can always comment in the section below, subscribe and leave a like. I appreciate it if you do. Thank you very much. I am out.